Welcome back. Rick Bloom with Brush Athletics, and now we turn our attentions to head coach Tim Foerg of the ladies soccer team. Has been here many a year, but I want to go back before that if I could. Tell me a little bit about why you wanted to become a coach after your playing career, all the way up through college, and then what are some of the core values you think are important for a coach to have?
Of course, I played since I was 7 years old and loved soccer, but probably the main reason I was gotten into soccer coach and probably the profession I am in as a teacher is I had a math teacher in high school that was actually a basketball coach, but I had him for 3 years in math and knew his coaching and just wanted to be like Mr. Hafner and loved being around the sport and knew education, and I could do both there. So really, that's kind of how I got started. So I played a lot, and then it was a way to continue after college to continue with the sport.
Sure. And then some of the core values you found it important to have as you've progressed in this profession.
I think hard work, determination, not giving up. I think that goes for on the soccer field or in the classroom. Just kind of having that grit to fight through whatever has come your way, and hopefully preparing our kids for life beyond high school and college, and just having that work ethic, I think, is the biggest thing.
Okay. At the high school level, of course, you got to do the double duty, with the teaching and worried about the academics, but also the athletics. What kind of relationship do you see between the two of those? Does one play off the other, or are they totally different?
I think academics comes first, and that's the most important thing. They've got to do it in the classroom because that's, there's a lot more money out there, academic scholarships, than there are athletic scholarships too. And I know my girls sometimes probably get frustrated with me that I know their grades and I go on Progress Book to be like, hey, how you doing in this class? But I definitely think academics do that. And if they can be good students, and then that's going to transfer over onto the soccer field.
Sure. Can you give us a little preview? It's early yet, I understand that. Can you give us a little preview on what you're seeing for this year's squad and how they might fare on the field?
I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be young. We have some young new people out, which is terrific for our team. We're trying to get numbers up. But we lost 7 seniors from last year. 4 of them were 4-year letter winners and a lot of starters, so we're going to be kind of rebuilding a little bit. But we got a great core coming back with Marissa, Renisha, and BK, who have done a great job. And then we've had some people in our scrimmages in this first week and a half really step up. Aaron Kalin, Ari Milton Pace, and Laura Farron. So we're going to be all right. So it's nice being an independent. We've been able to kind of schedule our games kind of where we think we're going to be this year. So we've had a great first week and a half, and hopefully continue to have some positives as we go forward.
Okay. I'm curious about this. We all can handle a situation when we're up 5-0. I mean, that's fun to be on the mountaintop, but when you're in the valley and the team's struggling, what do you do, or how do you break them out of it, motivate them?
Just try to really be positive. And I think that same thing in the class. I think my girls look at me and sometimes think I'm goofy, and I am. And I think that's just what you kind of have to do. Be positive, even go overboard with being goofy just so that they relax and know it's not the end of the world with wins and losses, and just to kind of fight through some of those bad things. And they've actually done that this year. Our first scrimmage, we didn't play as well as we wanted to. We came back in the second one, and got to stay as positive as we can. It can be tough, and I know sometimes we all go home and beat ourselves up over those, but being positive as we can.
So how do you approach, because again, we're at the high school level, and I think more than ever these days, a parent might come to you and say, why isn't my child playing more, or something along those lines. How do you handle that situation diplomatically?
Absolutely. Well, we certainly tell our parents and tell our kids if they have any questions about playing time, come see us, and we want it to be the child first, to really sit down and talk to us, and if they're still having problems, certainly meet with the parents. Actually, right before this interview, we just had practice, and I had one of my players come up, a brand new girl, Mr. Foerg, how can I get more playing time? What can I do? And that was a great conversation to have with kids, and kind of, that spill over from the classroom and math class of, hey, these are the different things we needed to work on, and work on those and help it get better. So we encourage, especially the kids, to start becoming those young adults and ask those questions, as they'll have to do that in their life as they continue.
And you bring up a good point. So what can the young ladies take out of these games, out of the experience, the practices? What can they take into life, later on as an attribute that you think is very important?
I think teamwork, getting along with a bunch of different girls. This year we have about 20, and just all the different personalities out there. We all have good days, bad days, if they can learn to get along with people, because we know most jobs are you're working as a team to try to accomplish anything. So hopefully that teamwork. And then secondly, the work ethic. You got to go out there and you got to be on time to your job, and you got to do your job, and hopefully soccer teaches them that as they head off into the real world.
All right. Now, I know they're all big games, don't get me wrong, but do you have a few that you circle on that calendar and say, wow, these are going to be some action-packed games here?
Yeah, there's always a couple good ones. Our opener against Cleveland Heights, always that city over. Their coach is the Brush grad, Pat Gleba, so it's always fun to match up with them a little bit. And in terms of our games, to really see where we at this year, Euclid is a big game for us. We had probably our best game last year against them. They're a very similar program, so Euclid will be another one towards the end of the season that will give us a good read and kind of where we are as a program.
One final question for you. You have the experience both as a player and a coach now. What to you makes a good, solid soccer player?
Certainly you've got to have the athletic ability and the skill level, but I think a good soccer player can really understand the game, kind of be out there and try to anticipate where that ball is going to go, or where's best to kind of be that thinking player. Okay. And if they can think, sometimes, the skill level may not be there, but if they can get themselves in the right place at the right time, that's such a big part of soccer.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, want to wish you well for the 2022 season.
Appreciate it.
Good luck out there at Korb Field.